It's me, Red Planet, coming to you once again with another video. No rights to the video or music, strictly for educational purposes only. Let's listen to them talk about the heart machine. Now, we all know what the heart machine does. We know that it alters the weather. We also know that it causes different things to happen on the earth. We know that they can cause it to rain or a storm, or they can do all sorts of things with this machine that they claim they got. So let's listen to them talk about the heart machine, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, on what I think is getting ready to take place. Let's get into it, Israel.
Watchers of the night sky along much of Alaska's road system may catch a colorful splotch of light up high in the air over the weekend.
Well, we know that this is the aurora radiation that's in the sky, causing it to have the different color effects in the sky. This is the aurora. That's what this is.
What might look like the aurora, the red or greenish air glow in the ionosphere, is a byproduct of a rare 4-day-long set of experiments at the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP, in Gakona. Each day, the air glow could be visible up to 300 miles from the HAARP facility, according to a statement from the Geophysical Institute at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. By creating an artificial aurora with equipment on the ground, researchers hope to learn more about the natural aurora. The research campaign was scheduled to take place from Saturday through Tuesday. HAARP is composed of instruments designed to study the ionosphere, the area roughly 50 to 400 miles above Earth, separating the livable surface of the planet from space. High-frequency radio pulses.
Right, because they know they cannot get out of the firmament, so they know anything that they do is always above the hemisphere or atmosphere. Above. That's why they always keep it so with their fake clouds. So we can't look up and see what's up there. Because then we'll start believing that everything that they say is up there is man-made and that they did it. Because I seen a video on fake sun that was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know that was their sun doing it with the heart machine to make it go back and forth. It was only going so far. And then it would go back. And then it would go back again. It only stopped so far. Cloaked in the clouds. Okay? It was cloaked in the clouds. But it was only going so far. You know, that was the heart machine that was causing that effect to happen when they turned it on. They had their fake sun out there. It's like, you know we have our natural sun. Okay? But then they'll go out and they'll put their sun out too when they turn their heart machine on to cause that effect to go back and forth. Let's continue.
Will excite electrons in the ionosphere, artificially mimicking the same phenomenon that causes the northern lights naturally from solar energy kicked off by the sun. The experiments are being conducted by UAF and several out-of-state research programs. Scientists will investigate ionosphere mechanisms that cause optical emissions, according to the statement. And they'll investigate how satellites can use plasma waves in the ionosphere for collision detection and avoidance. One application of the research is developing a new method for tracking space junk.
There's no space junk. There can be water junk, but there's no space junk. Because how's there space junk when you can't even see out in space? Man never went to space. Now underwater, yeah. Because so above, so below. But that's not out in space. They don't know what's out in space, but it definitely ain't that. You got to be able to go out in space in order to see what's out there. And you can't get out the firmament to even do that.
Remnants of man-made objects like old launch vehicles or bits of spacecraft trapped in Earth's orbit, according to HAARP's chief scientist. Traditionally, space debris is observed with satellite and ground sensors that use optics and ranging radars. These methods, however, cannot detect many smaller debris. University scientists have suggested a novel technique for locating space debris by measuring the electric fields that surround them while in motion. HAARP Sidey is about 200 miles northeast of Anchorage and about 230 miles southeast of Fairbanks, two of the state's main population centers. A much smaller version of the experiment took place in 2017, with researchers using ground equipment to stimulate an artificial aurora the size of a thumbnail at arm's length, according to a university publication at the time. The angle of visibility for anyone wanting to look for it will depend on a person's distance from HAARP, the geophysical...
Okay, let me say this. Could it be that when the lights go out, power's out, you know, because we know that they can do it. They can turn all the power out anytime they get ready, right? We all know, through the power grid, they can turn everything down. Even the lights outside, they can turn it down. Let's just say they turn everything off and it's dark. And we all have no communication, no running water, everything's turned off. Because think about it, who's going to work when they don't, knowing that everything's cut off and they can't get paid? So those people are going to go home. So that means we have absolutely nothing. Let's just say that they turn off the power. Let's say it's daytime. Let's say the HAARP machine turns on and they have a solar eclipse. Same time, we have no power. Same time the power grid go down. Same time all communication is down. Same time there's no gas. Same time there's no food. Same times we're stuck in our home because we got martial law lockdown. Same time, all that's taking place. And then they do a solar eclipse, which means they're going to block out the sun. Or even maybe block out the moon if it's night. And I don't see how that's possible. Only way I know that they can do that is if they block out the sun. Because with the HAARP machine, I don't put that past them of that happening. Let's say those who took the lollipop when the 5G towers are turned on. Well, there's your 3 days of darkness right there. There's your 3 days of darkness right there. Because if we are in total darkness, because now we don't have the light from the sun and the moon, it's not daylight now. That means we're in total darkness. Let's say they turn the 5G towers on. Let's say those who took the lollipop and the candy start acting real weird. Not saying that people are going to turn into zombies or anything like that. I'm just saying act real weird. More violent than they are. And that's in that way. Let's say all that takes place because of this machine right here they call HAARP. It's just something to think about. Because they can do it. They can do a solar eclipse anytime they get ready. They can have a solar eclipse anytime they get ready. And we think because they predicted on a particular day that they're going to do it, on a particular day that they're going to do it, they can have a solar eclipse anytime they get ready. They can do one. They can predict it on this particular day, at this particular time, we're going to have a solar eclipse. And then they do it. And when that happens, it's dark. Mind me now, it's already dark, power already out, right? Still daytime. But let's say night hits. Let's say night hits. What do you think that they would do? What do you think that they would do? Try to make it more darker than what it is. While they hide in their bunkers and underground tunnels. While we're up here trying to survive and live. Thinking that we're going to destroy each other. So when it's all over and all said and done, they can come up here and control the population with what's left. And that's what Bill Gates said, eliminate some of the population.
Institute said in this week's statement, because of the way the human eye operates, the air glow might be easier to see when looking just to the side. Clear skies make for the best viewing. If visible, it will look like a broad air glow cloud. Though the experiments have a tentative schedule, they are subject to ionospheric and geomagnetic conditions and could be rescheduled or canceled if those are not met. The work is part of a $9.3 million grant from the National Science Foundation to learn more about the upper atmosphere and geospace. Originally developed by the U.S. military, HAARP has long been the subject of conspiracy theories. After control of the facility was transferred to the University of Alaska in 2015, officials there began hosting an annual open house event in the hopes of dispelling those notions. Thank you for joining us on this video. If you enjoyed this video, please...
That is just something to actually think about. Because they're going to turn the power out. It is going to go out. But just to think about, could they do a fake solar eclipse? And put us in total darkness. Because we know when the power's out and the streets lights are not on, our lights are not on, we in total darkness, right? But not obscure darkness. Because we still got the moon and the sun to give us light. The moon at night and the sun by day. So they can do a solar eclipse anytime they get ready. They can do a lunar eclipse anytime they get ready. They can block out the sun and moon anytime they get ready. Using this HAARP machine. But we know some people can't handle obscure darkness. Some people can't handle darkness, period. Whether it's outside or in their homes. You tend to act out sometimes. But just think about it, Israel, wouldn't that be something? If everything is total out and everything is pitch black. Because think about it, now we don't have the light at night. Sometimes when I'm looking out my window, I don't even see the moon, half moon, crescent moon. I don't even see it. I don't see any of it. And that makes it real dark. And we don't have street lights. We don't have street lights where we are. We don't have no street lights. The lights we have was what we put on our porch. So imagine all that being out. And we in total darkness. And then they turn around and block the moon, putting us in more darkness. And then turn around and turn on the fragile towers. Actually something to think about. Because I was sitting and I was thinking about it and I say, wow, it was just something I know that they can do. Because they're going to go in their bunkers if they're not already in their bunkers. They're going to be in their bunkers thinking that they're safe. Well, we up here in total darkness. And I don't think it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be out trying to do anything when you can't see anything. You can't even see your hands in front of your face. Don't know what you're walking into because it's so dark. I would say it probably would be 3 days of darkness or 4 days of darkness or a whole week or a whole month or a whole year being in that total darkness. Not even knowing what you're running into when you walk or who you're running into when you walk. And this can be worldwide, not just here where we are. Every city, every country, every nation, total darkness. Yeah, it could take place. It's something to think about, Israel. No matter where you go or what you do, it's going to hit every city. This is their agenda. And you know they're not going to tell us. They're going to tell us. They're just going to let it happen. Whether we have economic collapse, earthquake, worldwide, volcano eruption, which will cause an earthquake, Yellowstone erupting, dollar collapse, war, civil war, in this darkness. Famine, we already going through that. Something is getting ready to take place. But this is just something I thought of and decided to make the video on it to let Israel know that they can do that anytime they get ready. And they're going to do it, or at least try. They're going to turn the power grid down. They're going to turn it completely off. Just like they did, I think, in 2017. Caught us all by surprise because we wasn't aware of it. But the only thing is, back then, we wasn't in obscure darkness, dark darkness. Because we still had the moon and the sun. We still had daylight. The only light you would have is daylight. When it happens, when it comes. Right? They have no control over that. But if they can try to block out the sun or the moon, when they turn the power grid down, when they completely turn it off, they're going to catch us all by surprise and we ain't going to see it coming. All we're going to do is we're going to look up and everything is going to be turned off. And as soon as night hits, they're going to do a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse. And they're going to try their best to put us in obscure darkness. Because they know if they do that, we're going to be in our homes. Because if not, you're going to run into something or somebody because you're not going to be able to see. And night vision ain't going to help you. Something to think about, Israel. Because we're so close to that happening. They're already doing test runs, knocking out the power in New York, California, China, dollar collapse. Dubai has storms. They're already doing it. Bangladesh, their economic collapse already took place. They're on curfew. They're on lockdown. They're fighting in the streets, so their civil war is already taking place. It's only a matter of time before it hits here. And all it takes is just to have one big disaster and lights out for all of us. No eating, unless you're going to eat out of a can. No water. Water going to be just like gold and silver. It's going to be worth more than your life. Water is going to be worth more than your life. Food is too, but water definitely. You can go a couple days without eating, I think. But you got to have some water. Keep your organs running, functioning. It's getting ready to happen, Israel. It ain't nothing we can do about it. But get ready for it. Because, like I said, they sure ain't going to tell us. They just going to do it. And it's going to catch us so off guard. Because we are not ready for it. We're not expecting it. And it's not going to be good for us.
Please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content like this. Your support means the world to us. And remember, keep looking up at the stars. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Thank you.
Think about what I said, Israel. We have to get ourselves prepared and ready for it. You have to get ourselves ready and prepared for it. It may even come a time where you'll have to do things and eat stuff and drink stuff you wouldn't normally drink and eat just to survive. Because we don't know how long we got. We don't know how long we got here, Israel, before we exit out. Before all this take place and we go. We leave. We don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know how long we got to sit through it. It may take a couple days, maybe a month, maybe a couple weeks. We don't know. Can you imagine being in that long with no food and water? Grass. And the rain that we will get, rain water, it's going to be good. No more steaks and lobsters and crab legs. You ain't going to eat none of that. All that's going to be gone. Everybody going to be trying to survive on what they have. But you're going to do it in total darkness. Not going to have no stove to cook on. Everybody going to be doing everybody going to be doing bonfires. And cooking and fixing whatever you see crawling. That's what's going to happen. And that's when we have daylight. Because I think that would be the only light we would see. Don't know when they do, or if they do, or when they do, or how they do a solar eclipse. We know solar eclipses don't last long. But they can make it last long if they want to, if they're doing it. They can make it last a day. They can block that sun or moon and make it last a long time. Think about it, Israel. That is total darkness. A darkness we ain't never seen. Because we just used to the lights and stuff being on and going off, but that's a different type of light. That's a different type of darkness. Something we ain't never seen. And it ain't going to be just in the U.S. It's going to be worldwide. Because other cities are planning it too. Do not think for a second that those other countries and nations are not in cahoots with the U.S. Because they are. They can tell you, oh, we at war, we ain't getting along. No, they're not. They're getting along with them people. Because it's going to be simultaneously all at the same time. Some cities is already going through it. But when we go through it, they're going to go through it too. And it don't matter where you at. I don't care where you at. You going to feel it too. Might not be as much as we feel it here in the city. But other places going to feel it too. And that's That's a bad situation to be in. And you can have all the stacked up food and water for a whole year. Eventually, you're going to run out of that. Eventually, you're going to run out of that. And what happens when you do? It takes a long time to grow some food. From the ground, it does. It's something to think about, Israel. Because they are preparing this. They have been preparing this for a long time. It's just now they're getting it together more than ever. And all they're waiting on is that particular day when they get ready to do it. And they ain't gonna tell us nothing. They're gonna do it from the bunkers. All they gotta do is make a call, flick a light, flick a button, tap on the computer, lights out. Lights out. Power grid down. And they're gonna say that we under attack. We all know. TikTok has been telling us. People are telling us. It ain't other nations, it's gonna be them. Think about it, Israel. This is why they built this. Just for that particular day. I mean, with other things taking place and happening. But for this day that's getting ready to come. When they had it in Texas, it took a long time. And that's if the power ever came back on. To be with no running water. No lights. That's a bad situation to be in. Imagine that worldwide. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Just try to stay in your house. And pray that day would pass just to get through another day. Some people are going to be wishing that the night will go by just to have daylight, to do what they need to do in the daytime, to prepare themselves for that next night. And then the same thing over and over and over again. Till we exit out here. Everybody is going to be trying to survive, to eat, to drink water. You're not going to think about silver, no gold, no money, your cars, your house. You ain't going to think about nothing. You're going to be thinking about where I'm going to get that next bottle of water from, or canned beans from, or canned fruit. That's what you're going to think about. And they're not wasting any on the floor, because cleanness is going to be no more. It's going to be no more. So for you to think about, Israel, because we are going to get the lights turned off. And nothing we can do about that.